Oh, what's up, people? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Chris Dillard Experience. You are now tapped in. First of all, I want to welcome everybody for being here today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here showing your boy love. So I appreciate y'all. I, yeah, I look just like a Jazz from Drew Hill, killing them right now. I got mistaken the other day. I was inside a Weiss on Liberty Road. The lady was like, are you Jazz from Drew Hill? And I left my wallet home. And she was like, if you Jazz from Drew Hill, I pay for your groceries. I said, yeah. So I guess I'm Jazz from Drew Hill for the next couple weeks, especially if I run into this lady. What's going on? Come on in, people. Come on in. Grab your hot chocolate, grab your Kool-Aid, the red kind, because that's my favorite. Grab your snacks. Come on into the Chris Dillard experience. Come on and tap in with your boy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, like always, we're just gonna jump into this entertainment news for this week of what's going on. First of all, one of the most interesting things that I seen today was two legends, two icons are beefing with each other right now. We got Dion Ward and what's the dude name? Wendy Williams, I think. Um, Dion Warwick, Wendy Williams are beefing right now because Wendy Williams made a comment on her social media about Dion's past marijuana addiction. So she kind of threw a shot at her, and Dion wasn't really with the bull. She wasn't fired back at Wendy Williams, and she tried to take the higher road and be more of the woman, which we talking about Wendy Williams. She kind of is more of the woman. And Dion just made the comment and said, hey, one of my friends alerted me that my name was in your mouth again, because we all know that what you doing can be real messy, because that's just what she do. And she was just like, hey, I ain't with all the games no more. So, I'm professionally asking you to keep my name out your mouth. Well, y'all know Ms. Wendy Williams love that drama. So we're going to see what happened in the next couple of days and see how Wendy Williams respond on that, because we all know um she liked that gossip and that tea. What else going on? Oh, Ellen DeGeneres just tested positive for COVID. So that goes to show everybody out there, you cannot dance your way through Corona. Um, Ellen DeGeneres, we hope you get well. And we look forward to seeing many more things from you to come. I don't know if y'all this next thing, I don't know if y'all seen or not, but it's a football coach that's trending right now. Um, he is from Georgia, and he's trending right now because he hit one of his players in the middle of the game. This player wasn't his kid. This player had nothing to do with him except for simply being on his team. It was a 10-year-old team that he coached. And so the kid came over, and evidently the coach didn't like something that he did. So the kid was coming over trying to voice his opinion, and the coach took his hand on the kid's helmet and threw him to the ground. The kid got up. The coach continued to be upset and threw the kid over again. And that's how I knew right then and there that um, they take this football thing way too serious. Um, well, social media, of course, grabbed the video, and y'all know what they do. They spread that thing until we find out who this person is. Well, evidently, this dude name is Jarrell Williams. And here's the crazy thing. He works for the deputy department in Georgia. He actually works for the deputy sheriff department in Georgia, which was crazy. So the parents came out today and they put a video out and said, hey, we are not going to sue this guy. We are not mad at him. Da, 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 da. We forgive him. Let me ask y'all a question. If you got a kid that plays sports and his coach get mad at him, and your son happened to be out there, he come talking to the coach, and the coach say, here, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He put out an apology video today saying he was sorry, but he also made a comment, hey, I'm a man, and Sometimes my man actions, that's beyond man right there. That's abuse, buddy. Um, we want to send a special RIP to one of my fellow thespians, Natalie DeSalle Reed. Some of y'all know her from Babs. She was also in Tyler Perry's Big Happy Family. She's been in a lot of movies. She co-starred with Halle Berry in Babs, and Halle Berry took the social media over that loss because that was a big loss to Hollywood. So rest in peace to her, and also in honor of Chadwick Boseman, MTV Movie Awards actually honored him, and they got two of his good friends to be presenters. They gave him the Hero of Ages Award, which is amazing. So thank you, MTV, for recognizing not only his talent, but recognizing what he does in life, period. Fighting cancer. I don't know if anybody ever been through anything out there. And I don't mean getting beat up by somebody that's not going through something. I'm talking about some real life tribulations and trials that set you up, that you just don't know which way to turn. It feel like it's here. It feel like it's here. And no matter where you turn, that tribulation is still there. When you fight through that, you the real MVP. So shout out to MTV for that. And what they said also was that Marvel is set to do Black Panther 2, starting to record in 2021 in July, which means that we probably won't get it until the end of 2022. What else is going on in the news? In sports, Larry Fitzgerald has caught coronavirus. And he said it's not even the symptoms, it's not even him having it. He said the scariest part of the coronavirus to him is the lack of answers that his doctors are giving him. So, Larry, we wish you a speedy recovery. And last but not least, our spotlight game of the week, Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. Make sure you tune in on Monday night for Monday Night Football, because Cleveland Browns 9-3 and the Ravens both desperately need a win. They both coming off wins from last week, but both of them need this win for both of them to be in that playoff race still. So that's our entertainment suit for the day. Y'all listen, my guests today are very, 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 very special to me. So I just want to tap into our guests. Right now, I want to bring to y'all, she's been doing comedy for probably about 73 years. And she don't ever get older. She don't age or nothing like that. I don't know what kind of Benjamin Buttons she got going on, but it's amazing. I've had the honor of hosting shows that she's been on, that she's headlined. I've had the honor of seeing her on TV. I had the honor of sitting next to her when she farted on a plane. But nonetheless, I had the honor of working with this lady, stage plays, comedy shows, everything. I want to welcome our first guest to the show, Miss Comedian Extraordinaire, Miss BT, Miss Baltimore Park Heights, Miss everything in the world, Michelin tire, you name it, she done everything. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Comedian Extraordinaire, Miss Maybelle.
Hey, I'm up in here.
What's going on, Miss Maybelle?
What's going on with my screens?
I don't know. What you on the toilet?
Wait a minute, let me see something. Where you know I don't know how to work the computer.
Oh Lord, I hope you paid your bill, because you definitely on a. I can hear you good though.
You can hear me? I want you to be able to see me.
Yeah, I hear you good. I just can't see you.
Okay, what am I supposed to push something?
Yeah, on your screen, it's gonna say something that said that the cam. It's gonna say you got the little camera button on there.
The camera button.
There you go. It looked like something just happened.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
Oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together.
Ooh. Wait a minute, let me see.
There you go. It looked like you were starring in an episode of Michael Blackson You were so black. I didn't know what was. I thought I was interviewing Michael Blackson.
You
The
know
whole
what? Don't
thing.
start. Don't. Is this a gospel program I'm getting interviewed on?
Yes. What's going on,
Every
Maybelle?
time I do a gospel program with you, I
You
gotta watch my mouth.
and you don't know how to act, and you don't listen anyway. So I
No,
can.
I'm hard headed.
I can give you 20 rules, and I guarantee you won't follow not one of them at all. First of all, Ms. Maybelle, introduce yourself to the people real quick.
uh-huh. Say it again. I'm talking to my fiance, and I'm sorry. When you see,
Oh,
let me
I didn't know what was going on. I thought you was selling drugs. I was about to say, do I need to turn my computer off or something? I thought you was making a transaction.
let me say something.
Come on.
When you home and you're on the computer, anything liable to happen in people's houses. You know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
had to say hold on in the middle of my interview and I gotta go back from something, y'all gotta understand because I'm in the privacy of my home.
Hey, that'd be the realest thing right there. You can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, what she's trying to say is we're not liable for whatever you may see going on over there. Just close your eyes, tuck and roll, please.
Okay,
Please.
tell me something. What is the Chris Dillard creation? What is that? That
You know
sound
what?
little bootleg, under the table type mess. What is it? The
The,
Dillard Boys production. What have y'all got me on? This probably gonna something mess up my credit score. What is this?
hey, I'm not. The Chris Dillard Experience. This is the new infamous video podcast that's going on, and I'm honored to have you on it. So, I can't create or do anything without having one of the hottest comedians in the world on
That's
the
right.
show.
That's right. Tell them.
So Miss Maybelle, what you been up to?
Well, trying to stay Corona safe.
And how that's been going?
That's been going pretty good. I can't complain. I'm tired of being in the house. I want to be back on stage. I miss the stage. I'm not good at this. Like I've
What's the
done some virtual shows. It's not the same. You know, Chris, when you're a comedian, I'm a hands-on. I like to be all up in your face, spitting on you and everything. I can't get my groove like this. I
what's
can't
the
do computer comedy. It doesn't make sense to me.
so what's been the hardest part of being a comedian during this? Do you think?
A lot of events are closing, and it's hard reaching out to people. If you want to sell tickets, people don't really want to come out and support you and things like that. I don't blame them because I had to cancel an event last week because
Mm,
of the corona.
hmm
Now they saying on the TV, um, we got a cure. That's some bull crap here. I'm not taking nothing they just made at the corner store. They can go to hell on with that bull crap. I'm not taking nothing.
Me, somebody gonna have the bootleg version down Lexington Market though. Oh, yo, I got that vaccine for you for $3.
Yeah, I don't
You
want
know
that.
somebody
I don't want
gonna have
that.
it.
I don't. I don't want that.
You don't want that.
Nope.
So what do you say? So what other resources do somebody have now that we shut down? What can you do to make money if you're a comedian? Like what can you do to bring and still do what you do to bring like creativity and laughter to people? Like what do you what
Solo ass. The strip joints is open. You ain't heard them say nothing about the strip joints, have you? No. I'm getting ready to go put my application in tomorrow, Friday. I'm gonna see if I can get up on somebody polls and make a couple of dollars because we got to do something.
yeah.
It's a stage, it's lights, it's drinking. We gotta put on a show at the club at the strip club.
They
If
got
you
they
notice,
got
ain't nobody saying nothing about the strip club.
that's the only thing that ain't shut. They didn't shut
Yeah,
down
that's the whole
every.
thing.
I ain't heard one thing about this. You know what? You right though. Yeah, I
Hmm.
just don't know what would be your name, Maybelle? What would be your
Black
name?
black ice.
Black what? Black
Black
Ice.
black ice.
Like
Black ice, like when it's snow, it's slippery. Black ice is slippery. I'm gonna be slippery. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes in and out.
That's because you're gonna be up there with them orthopedic slippers that you be wearing to all them shows. So it's gonna be slippery. Um, so Maybelle, let me ask you this. What do you have going on coming up? What do you have coming up next?
Well, tomorrow I will take a shower and get in my pajamas and look at TV. Ain't nothing going on. Nothing going on. Everything I have gotten is canceled. I tried to put on a ladies' event and I had to cancel that because you got to be careful. You got to be
Mhm.
worried about people. So the virtual shows are good. I want to thank the people that have called me to do that, but that's not really my thing.
Right.
Chris, wait a minute. Before we get into me, is anybody on here? I don't. What the hell? I'm just. I see we live 16 minutes and that time is counting, but it don't show me how many viewers you got on here. Is this
Because
your first day on the air?
you know what? We got YouTube going on. We got Facebook, Twitch. We got about 5 different platforms. So it's about.
I don't see how. Most time when you go. When you go on social media, you can tell who watching. It don't say nobody on here.
Maybelle, you got to start somewhere.
Okay, this your second day on the job, like Brandon.
Like,
Well, I don't.
oh,
Chris, is this your second day on the job?
is this your second? Yes, it is. I'm embarrassed.
Now, nobody in the damn room. This don't make sense.
I lied to you to tell you it was an interview, but really this was just a check to see was this thing even working. So I lied to tell you it was a live interview. Ain't nobody on this thing, child. It's just me and you having a conversation.
I'm choking.
So hey Maybelle, how long have you been doing comedy? What got you into comedy?
Okay, first question first. How many years? 23 years.
Ooh, 23 years.
23 years. And I got started from winning a contest at Burke's Comedy Club.
That's in Baltimore?
Yeah, it used to be down on Light Street. Now it's down by the Travel Plaza. And I won a contest. And I was supposed to for 4 weeks I got $250 because I won the contest. And so from there, after I finished my 4 weeks, comedian Alabama, he hired me at 5 seasons. At 5 seasons, I put on a show, and somebody there came and hired me for another show. Did that show, and somebody hired, and that's how, if you good, or if you kind of look like you know what you're doing, you're going to get booked for other shows.
Got you.
23 years of ups and downs. If you're getting into comedy, I know you ain't got no viewers right now, but for when somebody want to turn this on, if you're getting into comedy because you think it's a lot of money, you are the wrong ladder, sugar. This ain't for that. This is something you gotta love.
And so with you doing that talent show or that contest, what made you say, you know what, I'm getting in it. I don't care if I'm funny or like what gave you that confidence to even get in the contest?
Well, I had seen a guy by the name of Tysko Hagler. We went to high school together. And
that sounds like somebody who got caught having relations.
Do that. Good friend of mine. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
So he was starting to get into the record. He was starting to get into the record business, and he called me and said, "Pam, they looking for a host down at the Comedy Factory. Won't you give them a call?" And at that time, I was doing a little modeling, doing a little acting, and I said, "I'm gonna give it a try." So when I called the lady, she wanted me to send her my bio. Well, at that time, I didn't have nothing really on the bio, so I lied a little bit and made it look real good. You know, sometimes you gotta do a little line to get what you want. So I sent that into her, and I did some headshots. And a guy by the name of Archie Williams, we used to work together down at the courthouse, and he told me where to go get my first headshot in.
These names sound more made up every time you say. Go ahead.
This is true story. This true story. So she said, well, you know what? I like your package you sent in. I'm gonna need you to come in. You got 10 minutes of comedy. I
Mm,
said, no, I don't want to be a comedian. She said, you know what, Pam? I think you're funnier than you think you are. I think you can do this. So immediately I went and bought 10 tickets for everybody, some people I knew, and
mm,
told them, no matter what I said, I need y'all to fall out laughing. I mean, falling over in the chair laughing, bust a gut laughing. So when we got there, and I was still, your first time getting on stage is very nerve wracking. And when I went to get on, when they went to call me, no, wait, let me back up something because I didn't come out as Pam. This is Pam. I had to think of somebody I could hide behind. And this is for Madea, before Howard G and Grandma G and them. I came up with an old lady character. Not really old, but somebody a little older that's hip. Like your older aunt that smoke weed and drink, that kind of person. Yeah.
yeah.
So I thought of her and came up with a costume and practiced her name. Then I got a book down at Barnes and Nobles on Pratt Street to
Mm,
show me how to be a comedian. Now I can't read that good, so it took me a little while to get the concept of the book. And once I came up with my name and came up with my skit, what I was going to do, then it was time to do the show. So, but what they did wrong down at the Comedy Factory, they had offered my drinking cousins something to drink. So when it came time for me to come out, they didn't even realize because they drinking all the free drinks that I'm on the stage. So the people I bought the 10 tickets for, that was just a disaster. That was a disaster. So the people that I didn't know laughed at me harder than my family. And I
mm.
still got a problem with that. I need to talk to somebody about that because I had paid for 10 tickets and they wasn't even paying me a bit of mine.
Is that the cousin that when we did that show down in Brooklyn Park, the one that just got out jail, that they asked him for his ticket and he pushed the table over and came
Yeah.
and sat down?
Is that why you ain't had me on no more of your show? Because my family a little ignorant.
Yeah, how you do that? He walked past security. He walked straight into the comedy show and sat down at the table like he paid for a ticket. I said he the first person I know that squatted at a comedy show. Like,
Don't do that. Don't talk about my family. Don't talk about because I'm live on my phone and my family goes. Don't talk about my family. You always welcome them. Don't
you're
do that.
right. I love your family, man, because they come ready to laugh. They be deep. It be
Yeah,
about none of that.
boy,
It be
they
about
come
none of
ready
that.
to have
You,
a good
it's,
time.
and that brings us into a good, like, your following. Like, your following is faithful. We've had shows an hour away, 2 hours away. We've had shows down in West Bumble, and no matter where we have been, you have always had a big following that comes to the show to see you. Let's talk a little bit about the commitment it takes to making sure that you are giving your fans and followers the best that they can get from you. And what do you think keeps a faithful fan?
Well, first off, I want to thank you. Don't have nobody on here watching, but when you do get some followers on here, I want to thank everybody that purchased a ticket to come see me perform because this 23 years has been hard. It's been hard, but I love what I do. So I definitely want to thank the people who buy the tickets, who don't just try not to answer the phone when I call because they know I'm calling with something. But they know when they come see me, I'm going to give them a hell of a show. So definitely the ticket buyer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Um, this 23 years is it's been ups and downs and you're going to have that. Success don't come overnight. You got to pay your dues. I ain't talking about working with Howard G and them pay your dues. I'm talking about really pay your dues. You don't do this for the money. You do this for the experience and you do this to meet different people, to build relationships. That's what comedy is about. Comedy is not about a female getting on there and talking about her boobs and her ass. I'm sorry, is this a gospel program again? So I don't think that's funny for women. We can't say the same thing y'all can say on stage. To me, that's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to come out all half dressed and my boobs out for you to laugh at me. My material that I say is going to get you.
It should be funny enough.
Yeah, it should be funny. So it's a lot of newbies I really have a problem with because they didn't try to change the game. But long as I'm in this business, you ain't gonna change the game. You gotta study. You gotta work hard. You gotta get out of them clubs that got cigarettes and smoking that marijuana. You gotta get into some good crowd people. And that's how you build your following. Because everybody no mess. Ain't nobody gonna follow no mess.
Absolutely, and that's what I try to pride myself on when I throw shows. Is making sure. And I remember one time you pulled me up because I said, "Man," you was like, you had made a comment to me, and you was like, "Man, you don't be having no fights out here." And I said, "No, they ain't fighting out here." And then you was like, "Well, one thing I always want you to remember is." Don't have a show based on how you see other people having a show. Go with what works for you and stay in that lane. And that advice stuck with me with every show that I try to do. I try to do it to a high standard because I don't want to. I don't have to get ratchet on my show in order, for people to come out. I go with quality and the best, and that's one of the reasons why whenever I think of the best, you always come up.
Thank you. You have to put the best product out because your name is at stake. So if people see you do a bullcrap show, they're not going to support you. You might get one or two in the beginning, but after a while, Baltimore's small. Everybody know everybody. So if you're putting out garbage, it's gonna fly. It's gonna fly. Yeah, I think that's the key to longevity. Studying, because comedy change every hour. Every day is something new to talk about. And you gotta know what you're talking about. And you can't get up there and crack on people because you're gonna get your ass whipped. Oh, basically. I'm keeping it real tonight. So if you're going to get up there and Steve Harvey taught me this. Oh, we got to talk about the Steve Harvey experience too. So Steve Harvey taught me that when you crack on your audience, you done ran out of material. And if you're a seasoned comedian, even if you kind of a newbie, if you call somebody red dot and you say, "Look here, I need you to do 25 minutes." 25 minutes, that's it. That's it. You don't need to go over when the light flashing. You stay your ass out there. It's not about that. No, you got to stay on schedule with the show. So if you hire a comedian to do a show for 20, 25 minutes, that's what you expect. Because you didn't pay. Most of the time, I've never had to run you down with my car because you ain't paid me. And I like that you pay in the beginning. I don't like doing shows. I don't like doing shows where the promoter pays me at the end. Not all the time I want to stay for your event.
Absolutely.
So if I'm the first one or the last one, pay me as soon as I get in there. That's one of my pet peeves. Don't do that because I'm embarrassing. So, and have my money already ready and have my chicken and my Pepsi soda in the green room. If you ain't got a green room, and that's what I like about you, Chris, because when we went over out there in Glen Burnie, you always had a green room for us. Now you didn't really have food waiting, but you had a green room.
I tried. It just got 8 before y'all got there. I don't always do right, Maybelle. I don't always.
I know, but you try.
So let me ask you this: if somebody came to you right now and gave you the Maybelle show on TV right now, a 10-episode show, what would you say with everything that you have learned so far? What would your show be about?
Cooking with Maybelle, because I got to show you how to cook in the kitchen and have a little fun with it.
What's your favorite?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, cooking in the kitchen with Maybelle, because I've done some shows like that, and I love doing that. I want to talk to some celebrities because I know how to interview from me doing radio. I like doing all that kind of stuff. I like interacting with people and finding out where you come from type thing. It would definitely be some funny skits. It would be some on the street, like we sneaking in the supermarket or something, stealing the lunch meat. So I'm still waiting on that. I have done just about everything possible, but I would love to have my own TV show.
That's what's up. And how my boy been doing?
Nick, he's upstairs waiting at the door. You coming to get him? See, dealing with a disabled child and juggling comedy, I I still don't know how I was able to do that. That's God right there, because me myself couldn't have done that, because you can't leave your child with somebody who you're going to be worried about. Because if I'm worried about Nick, I can't perform right. So trying to find a nurse that's suitable has been challenging, because I send their asses home. Don't come in here with that. You're not going to come in my house combing your hair and on your cell phone. We ain't doing that. You are here for one reason. I'm not trying to be your friend. You are here to take care of my child. That's it.
What's the hardest part about trying to find somebody that's suitable? I know you got all kind of stories. What's the worst thing? What's the craziest thing you seen somebody do while taking care or talking about they want to be a child care provider for you and Nick?
Man, okay, me and Charlton was talking about, my man, right, Charlton? Okay, so we were talking about this just the other day. Nick is 14. I think I've had nursing services for 2 years. You get the call in late. You get the fall. I've had the falling of the sleep ones, and I put their asses out my house. You get the ones that don't smell too good. You get the one with all this track hair. And Nick had cerebral palsy. So I told the girl, stop wearing that long 20-inch weave because he likes to grab. She ain't want to listen. I hear her one day getting Nick in the bed and she's screaming. So I run in, hit the track all down here across her nose, and come on, man. You can't come here to work. You got to come here to work, because my son has cerebral palsy. He liable to flip out any given moment and then snap back. You won't even know. It's so quick with him. I tell him he got cerebral palsy on demand because he can flip it. He already know how to flip it. So
on demand.
Yeah, it's on demand. Like you once watch something on demand, you push a button. That's him. One minute he's somebody you don't recognize, the next minute he's a sweet little kid. You're like, this boy did not. Like I put on social media the other day. First he asked me for pizza. And I tried to tell him, you can't ask for specialty stuff and your check ain't cleared yet. Your check ain't came out.
Right.
So I didn't have enough money for pizza. So I told him not today. And I'm thinking he was cool with that. Red dot, I come back in the room. He done took everything off the bed, the sheets, the pad, the pillow. I'm like, what the hell? So to all the mothers, to all the parents who deal with disabled children, I'm going to give y'all a hand clap, because nobody knows what we really go through. And then some days it's fine. Then some mornings he want to fight. I done got banged in the eye. You see how my eye look like that? I done got banged in the eye with that little fist. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Can't nobody take care of my boy like I do.
Like you do. And you do a heck of a job, man. I commend you.
The most funny it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. I felt myself going to go to the jail, and I try not to get in trouble no more, because the judge said, next time I come around through here, I'm going to be rusting a while. So I try to stay out the court system. I try to stay far away from central booking, because, hey, I'm Miss Maybelle now, but my jail record ain't that good. So right. I'm not on probation. All my probation is finished. So I just try to stay cool. So we done had nursing for a couple years now. So the first year we lived out Woodlawn in these townhouses where Governor Hogan got us a house from the Section 8 program. I know you know about the Section 8 program. So he had got us.
I know about it.
See, if you had some listeners on here, they be like, hey now, we know about it. But since you ain't got nobody watching us, so this program had a elevator in it. So we didn't got stuck in the elevator 2 times. Can you imagine me and my big self jumping out? It was crazy. So, but it was better than where we came from. So I had this nurse that was from Africa. I don't know why I keep getting these nurses from across town, because I don't understand them and they sure don't understand me. Right? Okay. So the girl was in there taking care of Nick, feeding him. No, she was just sitting there with him. I was cooking dinner. At this house, the kitchen was right next to the living room where she was. So you know how you see stuff out your peripheral? When you got cataracts, it's kind of hard to you be like, wait a minute, did I see something for real or not?
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to look over after I was putting something in the refrigerator, and the girl was eating one of them African crackers. She took a bite off of it and put the rest in his mouth. Ah! Oh my God. So I said, excuse you, what is you doing? She says, oh, I was just saying that. You don't need to do that. We get food stamps in here. He got plenty of stacks. You don't need to share that with him. Man,
Oh, I know you was hot.
oh my God, Chris. Oh God, I just seen my name on the jail cell. I'm gonna knock out. We're going out. We're going out.
Now that's a play
So
I want to see. I would Miss Maybelle go to jail. Oh my
I
goodness.
threw her out. I threw her bag on the ground outside. I was so angry. And then she said, nah, 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 nah. I can't punch out yet. My shift over. I said, your ass get ready to be over. You need to go.
You need
So
to go.
it's been some times where I've had to actually put nurses out because they don't understand. This ain't this ain't a game right here.
Mm-hmm.
If the state paying you, or rather I'm paying you, you got to come in here and do your job. If
And
you're
do
not
what
going to
you.
go to work, don't come here because my attitude ain't right. Oh
Now
yeah,
that.
the one girl. Now we live out here in Lutherville, right?
Mm,
I'm the only black out here, which is fine. Ain't nobody came to the door with no sheets on their head, so I'm good. So one girl, I like this rib place down the street, so I had called myself saving her some ribs.
uh-huh.
Why I go outside the next day, the ribs thrown outside. Girl, this ain't Drill Hill Park. What the dog? My dog brought it to me. What the hell? No, 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 no. And then, okay, by this being a big house, if I leave the nurse in the kitchen with Nick, I might walk off to the room. That's
Right.
my chance for me to sneak back so I can see what your ass is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back. This nurse doing there.
Sleep? No, she ain't.
Sleep. Girl, I will punch you in your face. Anybody, the people, to the people that take care of their child, God bless them because
Where's you finding these nurses on Angie List or Craigslist or you ain't you? Let's see.
yeah,
Oh,
then we had a nurse. I told her don't wait for her ride across the street. She goes across the street in front of people's house. They call me and Pam. One of your nurses is over here. Is it a problem? Girl, you gonna get me thrown out of this white neighborhood. Come here and sit down. So we just I
golly.
don't know. It's just you never can get a good one.
Yeah.
They either gonna be late, like the one we got in the morning. She wear clothes like she washing my clothes. Girl, what the hell you know? You can't come in here like that. No bra on, no shoes on, no. Get your no. Mm-mm. So when I said something to her supervisor the day she comes in with wrinkled scrubs on, but at least she had some clothes on. What? I don't get it. People don't take their job seriously, but I do. Somebody should tell them about me before they get here. Don't come
Yeah.
in. Don't
That's
come in.
crazy.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy, Maybelle. Well, um, what final words of wisdom do you want to leave with? Any up
Final
and
words of wisdom. Let's do this.
let's do it.
Can I thank Steve Harvey for coming to grab me 3 times and giving me the chance of a lifetime? Because he will always be my friend, and whenever he need me, I'm going. I also want to thank R. Kelly. I don't care what people say about him, but he booked me a lot. Let's get that boy out of jail. Free R. Kelly. Free R.
Can we
Free
wait till after high school graduations? Because it's almost graduation.
R. Kelly have got me on so many shows and booked me. I love him. I love him as a person. Now I don't really know what's going on with his personal life, but they're gonna dare deal with that. And I also want to thank T-Shirt Brian, who has hired me and been my promoter. I want to thank Travis Winky, who taught me how to model.
Shout
I
out to
want to
Travis and
Yes,
T-shirt
Travis
Brian.
is
Yep.
it. I also want to thank Laura Young, who taught me radio Oh my gracious. I love doing radio too. Radio is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Teach you how to talk right
Absolutely.
and take your time with people and do the right thing. So definitely, Laura Young, my heart goes out to you, sweetheart. Thank you for teaching me radio. Shirley Caesar, thank you for letting me entertain your what's it I'm trying to say? Thank you for letting me entertain your family at all your family reunions. I love you. Wait a minute, it's somebody else. It's somebody else. Uh I should have written these down. Then I didn't know you was gonna get all in my business like this. Thank you, Alabama, for helping me start my comedy career 23 years ago. Thank you for all the Baltimore comedians. All of y'all are awesome. All of y'all are awesome. For the newbies, I need y'all to sit your ass down and stop talking about pay. Right now, ain't nobody getting paid. So you should be home practicing. This what this time is for, practicing and getting your skills together and really learning. For Mayor Sheila Dixon, thank you for giving me keys to the city in '09. They don't work right now, but they good. I just love you for just don't say that. Don't say nothing about her. You look like you about to say something. Don't say nothing about Sheila Dixon is my ace coon boons. Don't say nothing about her. So yeah, all the promoters that have hired me, including you, Chris, thank you for letting me just do my thing, do my thing. It was somebody else. It was somebody else. Wanda Sykes, you are a blessing from somewhere. You and Cheryl Underwood, thank you for being my mentors. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And the advice I want to give for people that want new comedians that want to try this. Be sure this is what you want to do because your feelings going to get hurt if you're not good. If you are good, ain't too many people going to book you because you just starting out and they don't want you to be better than them. Hello,
Yep.
hello. You ain't got to sleep on nobody's couch to get a gig because that's not where it's at. Take your time, pace yourself. Read, learn the stage, learn the behind the scene business. Oh, I gotta also thank Pat Moran for hiring me for all those movies I done. You push the line, the red. Okay. So thank Pat Moran's office, United Central Casting out of DC. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Joe Green with the MTA. Thank you. Did you know at one time my pictures was on the MTA bus? And that girl seen me at a comedy show. And thank you, Joe Green, for letting me have that experience. When my mama passed away, but one day we were downtown and my bus came by with my picture on it. I like to lost my mind. I'm running down Howard Street trying to take
Pictures of the bus.
pictures of the bus. Man, that was
I know that was a great experience, man. We
absolutely.
thank you for all that you do, Maybelle. I personally want to thank you for being not only a mentor but somebody that always speak words of wisdom. And to me, it was an honor to have you on the Dillard Boys production, Awesome Golf Radio, aka the Chris Dillard Experience with no viewers. I appreciate you for coming out again. This was just a practice, and we look forward to hearing you when God do send that show to you. We're gonna be the first ones to have you on here so that you could tell us when it's airing. All right.
Okay. Did I thank my followers? I want to thank them again too. Thank you for everybody who's ever bought a ticket to come see me. Preferably, they will get this corona straight by 2021, and we be back out there doing shows. And because we can't stay like this, it gotta get better. It can't stay like this.
Absolutely.
So just thank you.
Absolutely.
The
Yes, and
Chris
thank you too.
Dillard creation. This is good. It look a little bootleg. I don't know where you got me on that. I hope this ain't no porn site. But oh, Jesus Christ. I'm proud
Lord,
of
I
you,
love
bro.
you, Maybelle.
I am so proud of you, Joker. One day we was laying back looking at TV and I see you on BET, get ready to be a drug dealer. I so childish. Now I gotta get that boy on the phone because this looking too real. You
Well,
shot the children up. How could you play a role like that?
you know what? My pastor, before I took that role, he prayed with me and he was like, "You sure you want to take this?" And I was like, I don't, because I know people are going to say something. But he said, "This is your craft. This is a gift God gave you. If they can't understand that it's just acting, then that's on them." Um, and I took it, and yeah, when you called me that day, I just started cracking up. I said, "Oh, my show must be on."
You were so convincing. I really thought you was that guy for a minute. I told Charlie I'm getting ready to be him. What is he doing? You didn't kill the children up. You didn't kill the girl. You're selling drugs. You running women out the whole house. I said, oh my God, you're doing too much, boy.
Oh my goodness, Lord, that was one of those roles that I had to really tap into. That role was crazy. Um, yeah, that role was
I got a
crazy.
question for you.
Yep.
Out of all the comedians, other than myself, who who was a joy and who was a pain to work with? Go on, be honest. Go on. Ain't nobody
uh,
on here but me and you. Go
ain't
on,
nobody on. So real quick, the joys was Lonnie Davis,
love him.
awesome. Big Shorty,
Hmm.
awesome. Um, uh, Timmy Hall,
Hmm.
one of the greatest. Um, Other than that, if I didn't mention your name and you worked with me, consider yourself on the other list.
Who was the pains? Difficult when it chipped ice in the glass and crap. Who
I
was
don't know. 'Cause one of them might be working at one of them Burger Kings up on Park Heights, and I don't need nobody spitting my French fries. So I'm just gonna say, God bless you and good night.
but wait a minute, Chris, before we go, can I say something about Timmy Hall?
Yes.
Timmy Hall and Lonnie in Alabama, they my because we come through the trenches together with Laurie
Mm.
Lancaster. And a lot of times I was the only female on the show. But do you remember the show we did for you? And um I was supposed to be before Timmy, but after Lonnie and Timmy
Oh
had to
yeah.
leave.
Yep.
So Timmy had to go do a show in DC, and he said, "May, you got to be the headliner." No, 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 no. I've never wanted to ever follow behind them guys because they are awesome. I mean, I'm confident in my thing, but I never want to follow none of them. And so he was like, "Come on, you can do it, you can do it." And you was like, "Maybelle, you going on last?" I said, "No, I don't want to be the headliner. Headlining is so much pressure. It's fun, but it's pressure." So he went on and did his set, killed it as usual, and he threw the mic to me. I said, "Oh my God!" Now I've been doing this for some years, but I just to be thrown into headlining, I was scared to death. So the first joke I told, and your people must already knew. They gave me must have been a sympathy standing ovation because I
Nah,
got
that standing ovation was I was just ready to say and at the end of your set we had about 500 people in there. They
yes,
all, not one of them sat down. Everybody stood up and gave you a standing ovation because that's everybody giving you your flowers while you here because you
thank
are
you,
the
baby.
queen. You are the queen of comedy.
Thank you, baby. Thank
Yeah,
you.
love
Thank you.
you and we'll talk to you soon.
Love you too. Be good.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Well, y'all, that was the great Miss Maybelle, Pamela Leak. If you want to follow her, see her live. Like she said, she's everywhere. So thank you again, Miss Maybelle. But now I want to direct my attention to one of the hardest working women that I have ever met in my life. She has been a blessing to so many souls, been a blessing to so many, not only young women, but young men out there. Um, she just continues to fulfill her purpose that God has for her. So, everybody, without further ado, I want to welcome Miss Yolanda Johnson, founder of Beyond Measure LLC. How you doing?
Hey Chris, I'm doing okay. I'm doing pandemic okay. You
Ooh,
know, I say that there's a different type of doing well and a different type of doing good and okay during the pandemic. So
that
this week, today I'm doing pandemic okay. Yes.
pandemic, and it's okay to do pandemic. See,
Mhm.
everybody trying to do extra doing this, but you have to find your okay in this because the only way you're gonna maintain a sense of sanity or a sense of understanding for you, you have to be your okay. So that's amazing
Absolutely.
hearing you. Hearing you.
Absolutely. And I have learned to not allow it to be anything other than what it's supposed to be. And so this week, even being grateful, right? Because sometimes we don't want to say that we're not doing that good because
Mhm,
it appears that we're not grateful or, someone is always doing worse. And yes,
mhm.
absolutely. But if we don't learn how to put a name to our feelings, then we'll overlook them and we just keep pushing through. And I don't want to do life like that anymore. I don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
A-
yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk
Mhm.
a little bit about beyond measure.
Sure.
What is beyond measure?
Wow. Oh, Chris. So it has grown into many things over the past few years, and it's still growing. I'm still learning. So Beyond Measure is a platform that I started about four and a half years ago now.
Mhm,
And I started it during the year when there was even more racial unrest, right? There was some police brutality going on. And it was during the year 2016, I believe. And it was just a lot of stuff happening, a lot of like racial discourse. I was reading a lot of things on Facebook and social media and just in the media that was just, so much division. Exactly where we are now, right? A lot of division, a lot of things happening. And I said, well, at that same time, I was also finishing up a business group, a business education group, and all of that. And I said, well, you know what? I could either sit on the sidelines and argue with people on social media,
mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Or I can figure out what it is that I can do
That
in
you
my
can.
own
Ooh,
little space, right? My own little space, my own little world to make an impact. And I started my annual event that year. And I said, you know what? Okay, we'll probably get like 15 women. And because the vision that I had was to bring together women of multi races, multi nationalities, um, all different races and genders, religion, non-religion, all of that. And so
mhm.
I'm like, well, you know what? This is a difficult conversation to have. I wanted to structure conversations around racism and difference and all of that. And I said, well, who can really make a difference? And I said, women. Women can have those conversations because women can take back the information to their families, to their communities, all of that. So a lot of different areas. So I started with specifically dealing with women, and I thought that there would only be about 15, 20 women who would show up. And there were 62 women, Chris, at that first event. Yeah, there were
Yeah.
62 women, different races, different ages, so much rich conversation. We talked about white privilege. We talked about deference. We talked about trust amongst women, even amongst women of your own race and things of that nature. We had some tough conversations
Of
in that
conversations.
first. Yeah, we had to have those difficult conversations. And so from that year, it has grown more and more
Mhm.
out of, from those conversations, it's grown into things about making an impact in the lives of Black women, the dual faces of Black women. We held the second event at the University of Maryland, and we learned more about how we sometimes as women have to hold two different spaces and two different faces all at the same time. And
Mhm.
then were you at the third event? Yes, you were at in Baltimore.
In
And
Baltimore,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and I must say,
men, yes.
and I must say that first of all, it was an honor to be one of the guest comedians and for us to be a part of that event. When I got there, first of all, y'all, let me tell y'all, when you work with people, there's some people that got some ratchet events out there. Somebody done told me I was going to be in the VIP section. I didn't got to the event. Shout out to Renee. I won't say your last name because you probably watching. They told me I was going to be. They told me I was going to be a VIP. I got to this event and they had an aluminum chair that was made for people under 150 pounds. I sat on the chair, the legs. I said, this is not a VIP section. But I say that to say, when I got to your event, you treated us from the time we got there, from first of all, from the time that we discussed the event to us being there. You showed me what professionalism looks like. You had everything laid out, and to see the smile on the women's faces because of the way that you and those other people that were involved was impacting ladies was amazing. To see that many women in one room for positivity, for change, for laughter, for caring about their community, to be spoke life into, it was a amazing thing. And when I got in there, you could just feel the love and the realness of everybody there.
Yes. Chris, and you know what happens is that I get these visions, right? And then I have people that help me bring those visions alive. But until we start actually working through the event, through the summit, what happens is that some things take on a life of its own. And you saw a lot of Friday night, but on Saturday morning, I had a vision, right? And we got into a lot of things about equity and
Mm,
diversity. We had segments on mental health. We had segments on our financial health. Also, work styles, like those different work styles and different leadership styles, understanding how you interact with one another. But then on the end, we talked about transitions, and it took on such a whole um, transformational space at that moment where we could now leave that space and think about how we were going to transition into our next and whatever that looked like. And so and here's the thing that I always want to improve upon is
mhm.
making sure that every person, now that we're integrating men more, right? And I'm trying to figure out how to do that, but making sure that every person leaves there with something, whether it's knowledge, connection, some type of network building, something that they could leave with and speak to each person individually and collectively. So I'm happy. Of course, I'm a little sad that I wasn't able to do it this year, but
Yeah,
we do have online presence, but I decided that I didn't want to just put something out there to put it out there. I
absolutely.
wanted to really be strategic and think about it. And so now, prayerfully, we'll be in Charlotte next year and you will be there with us.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, to that young woman who is looking at following your footprints and stepping out on faith, because one thing for sure is when God gives you a gift, if you don't allow him to stir it up, then your gift is just going to be full of whatever it is. It just
Mhm.
won't be stirred and it won't have a taste. And I tell people that all the time. Like when you making Kool-Aid, when you making tea, you could take water, you could put all the sugar you want into that Kool-Aid. You could put
Mhm.
the pack in there, but it's not Kool-Aid until you stir it up. It don't have the same taste when everything is at the bottom of that container.
Mhm.
So to that young woman who is there and have everything already poured inside her, but just needs a little bit of stirring to step on faith, what would you say to her?
Oh, Chris, man, let me think about it. So I have said to young women who have things stirring inside of them to just move forward, believe in who they are, and block out all of the noise. There are times when you have to have tunnel vision towards your dreams and towards your goals and towards what it is that you know how to do. Because if not, you'll sway here and sway there. But if you stay just like this, then you're going to do what it is that you are called to do and not what everybody else over here wants you to do and what
Mm,
everybody else over here expects you to do, or not taking on the personalities and the identities of other people if you stay focused on what it is that you can do. So stay focused on what it is that you can do. Don't pay attention to the haters, as the young people call it. Don't get sidetracked. And even if you do, because see, we're sitting here today, but we're sitting here today through a lot of ups and downs, right? I was a young mother. I was going to college and trying to raise kids at the same time. I had no clue what I was doing at times, Chris, right? But I knew that I wanted to show my children something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I wanted to have them be proud of their mom and stuff like that. So even if you do hit a roadblock, it's okay. Use that roadblock to your advantage and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Do what you have to do. Clean yourself up and keep it moving. And here is something that's really important. Find yourself a circle.
Ooh,
That
let's talk
circle
about
don't
it.
have to be large. It can be. Chris, I am very fortunate that I've always had really great people in my life. People,
Absolutely.
people who pull me, right? Who pull me, who strengthen me, who give me a foundation. And each person gives me something different. I have girlfriends that I could call up and laugh and just talk crap with. I have girlfriends who will come to my home and pray through my entire house, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have girlfriends who might want to, fight somebody in the street, all of that. You have to have a diverse circle of people around you who will strengthen you. And who can pull you up, because when you do, they could see things in you at the times when you're at your lowest and you can't see them in yourself.
Absolutely. And when you just said that, listen, to everybody out there, no matter where you viewing from, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, whether it's Insta, like wherever you watching from, just remember what she just said because it's so important. Your circle, um, get you off track of what God has for you. Um, if you are not connected to the right people, it could be detrimental to your growth. Let me say that again. If you are not connected to the right people, it could be detrimental to your growth. That's why you want to surround yourself with like-minded people. You don't want to surround yourself with somebody who just yes, 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 yeah. Go ahead
Yeah,
because they're gonna be that one that's gonna let you roam out there and get bit. They're gonna be
yeah,
that one that so. Your circle is so important. Do not take for granted or do not take it lightly if you have people in your circle who are going to help you grow. And something you just said just now, you said what I get from them. If you only have a circle where you're giving and not getting,
yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And I tell you, when I look back, I went through, several difficult times in life, but I'll just give you a snapshot over the past year and a half. So I went through a divorce, a pretty nasty time and all of that. But what happened was, is I remember my daughter saying to me, like, Mom, it's time that you have a great circle of folks who want
Mm-hmm.
to pour into you and who want to support you. You have been there for other people. It's time that you allowed somebody to be there for you. And it really, when I tell you, they rallied around me in so many ways. They didn't have to be physically present. At many times they were physically present. It could have been a phone call. It could have been prayers that I didn't even know that they were praying. But again, in those low moments in life, when people know what your purpose is, they're not going to let that go. And they're going to constantly remind you of who you are, because there's times when we may lose sight just going
Absolutely.
through life. And it's that circle, whether it be your family or your friends. And here's another thing: don't expect each person to give you the same thing. I often hear women say, oh, well, this one isn't there for me and that one isn't there for me. It Not everybody can give you the same thing. And so each person has a different purpose, but having that circle around you is one of the most important things to have daily success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, your
Yeah.
friends is better than mine. When I went through my divorce, I had my little raggedy friend, Manny. See, your friends probably was telling, girl, you can make it. They pushing you, girl. You is beautiful. My little raggedy friend, Manny, just gonna say, you want to play PlayStation? Like, kind of
Chris, you need some better friends. Yeah.
what kind of friend is this? Ain't even so, that's why I say it's so important just to connect yourself
Mhm.
with, the
Yeah.
right people.
Yeah.
So in closing, how can the people support you, follow you? How can the people connect with you for the next event?
Ooh.
Or if because I'm pretty sure we got sponsors, we got people, because God just gonna prepare and put people in position. So anybody that want to donate, anybody that want to reach out to Beyond Measure, how can they do that?
Wow. So find me on social media, all social media. I'm at Yolanda Johnson on Instagram. I'm at Beyond Measure, Yolanda at Beyond Measure LLC. You can also reach me through email at Yolanda at leadbeyondmeasure.com.
Mm,
And Chris, I'm so glad you asked that because the past few weeks I really have been thinking about what the new calendar year is going to look like. And I'm not sure. I don't know everything that's around the corner, but I know that God is preparing me for something. He has to be preparing me for something because this time that we're going in right now has to count for something. It has
mm,
to count for something, and I believe that there is going to be so much work to do. But I'm also going to be building a team because I'm at the point I can't do it all by myself. And I have
absolutely.
some things that I really want to be able to put out into the communities. And so I'll be looking for a team of folks to work with me even more. And looking to build more community impact. I get to serve on the board of a very great nonprofit in Montgomery County, Equipment Connections for Children. So if
Mm,
anybody wants to make a donation to anything, Chris, I would like to give a shout out to Equipment Connections for Children. That
equipment connections for
nonprofit, I am the president of the board, and that nonprofit actually provides adaptive equipment for children living with disabilities. And I tell you,
children.
they are doing some great, amazing work. So that's www.ecfc.com, Equipment Connections for Children. That's a board that I serve on. And so I would love that if anyone wants to do something for me, do it through that
Do it
organization.
through that
Yeah,
organization. Amen.
absolutely.
Amen. And I,
Mm.
I leave you with this. I pray nothing but success. I pray that God puts the tools and the instruments and the people in your life, that every blessing will overflow in your life. I speak nothing but your territory is expanding right now, and God is going to continue to do some amazing things. So you being obedient is going to release the keys that God has for you to open up your next level. So just continue to walk, and we look forward to hearing the many, many blessings to come. And I want to thank you for being a part of the Chris Dillard experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris. And I receive all of that. And I hope you did not rush me for Miss Maybelle. She was awesome because I was backstage cracking up laughing. And
Lord,
that's something that we have to do. So if I wanted to leave any last words is find something to laugh about. Find something that you could do in your community at home, but find something to laugh about. So I appreciate listening to Miss Maybelle earlier.
so what do you do? Because you're not just the founder of that, but you have so many other titles and other things that you do by trade. What are some other things
Yeah,
that you
Chris.
do?
Yes, absolutely. So I am a proud HBCU graduate. I am a graduate of Bowie State University.
Bowie
And
State?
yes, absolutely. And then I went on and got my master's in organizational leadership. Started in the state of Maryland for many years, but I am now currently a senior director of community initiatives at a nonprofit in Silver Spring. And through that nonprofit, I get to develop programs for young people and adults who are most vulnerable to racism and injustice. And so I
Ooh.
develop civic and legal education programs for them, and I get to do that across the country, and I love it. And I have I always say that I have a good challenge, right?
Mhm.
I have a job that I love, and I have community work that I love. And so, whatever God is going to do with that as they continue to move forward, I believe He's building me up in my professional space with work, and then also in my community space. So, yeah, I actually train corporate legal volunteers, I train
Mm.
community volunteers to deliver those programs to young people and adults. So,
Oh, that's awesome. That's why I say you're a jack of all trades, and that's why I say it's just a blessing knowing you because no matter what resource, no matter what you need, you are connected to these many different things, and it's a blessing because when God is poured into us, who are we to keep what He gave us? And I see you as a woman who is 100% willing to be an open book, to be not only an open book, but to be a sponge to receive also. So, thank you
oh,
for that.
I'm so
Thank
glad you
you.
see that in me because I really truly believe that even with all of those accolades and degrees and all of that, that my real purpose lies right in what you just said is being that connector, that central unit for people to connect, whether it's information or resources. That's it right there. I don't know if you ever read my chapter that I did in an anthology, but if not, I'm going to make sure you get it. And the title of it is called "He's Building My House," and
Ooh.
um, it's
Hmm.
based off of a vision that I had many years ago, and how God spoke to me. And I've never had many times where I can say I've heard the audible voice of God, what I consider the audible voice, and I don't take that lightly. But this time I did, and I'll never forget it. And I really truly believe that He wasn't talking about a physical structure; He was talking
Hmm.
about me. He was
Ooh.
talking about me, and what He's building me for is for me to be able to give back and to give out of myself. So the more that He builds me, the more that I'm required to give out.
The more that you are required to give out. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's the word right
I
there.
believe that, but that's a heavy cross to bear sometimes, right? It is.
Absolutely. And but one thing about carrying that cross is God will never God will never have us carry a cross that He won't give us the encouragement to continue to carry.
Mm,
So y'all out there that's listening, that cross is gonna feel heavy sometimes. It's gonna feel like you can't take another step. It's gonna feel like every time you finally get the cross on your back, it's something else that go on the cross that makes you feel like it's heavier. Oh, somebody put 5 more pounds. But here's the thing: God will never put more on you than you can bear. And if you believe that, no matter how heavy the cross feels, it's only in your mind because your physical is going to always be stronger than your mind, because God will never equip you with a journey or a path where He doesn't prepare you to deal with the things that's going to be thrown on your cross. So carry your cross, walk with your cross, set your cross down if you have to, dust your cross off because your cross is attached to your next level. Pick that cross back up and keep on moving.
I love that, Chris. Wow, that's good stuff. And I so needed this tonight. Like I needed this tonight. I didn't need it last week, maybe not next week, but I needed it today. And so I'm thankful that you had me on today and that you scheduled this for me today. I was able to get a little bit more dressed up. I'm like, oh, I'm going on the Chris Dillard show. I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'm going to have you on my podcast, Chris. We're going to do a little collab there. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I needed it this week. I really did. This is a time that doesn't feel good every day. It
Mm,
doesn't feel good every day. And where I am somebody who, um, can push through, and I have a lot of support and all of that. I'm very spiritual. That doesn't mean I feel good every day,
every day.
and so I'm just so thankful that God always sends what you need exactly when you need it. So
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what He's doing with you to the many people in the world. So,
oh,
we Thank you. And like I said, we definitely will be talking again soon. I appreciate you as always and keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, and we'll talk real soon. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
ma'am. Thank
Yeah,
you. Enjoy your night.
absolutely. My best to you.
Yes, you too. All right, everybody. In closing, I thank y'all for tapping into the Chris Dillard experience. Next week, I got very special guests. Mr. AKA Faison Love will be on the show. Also, comedian Ron G. So tell your friends Faison Love is coming to tap into the Chris Dillard experience next week, and it's going down. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we see y'all next week. All right, enjoy.